Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another live stream today. And yes, um, this is a continuation of my former live stream I did. I think I did the live stream yesterday where I talked about the African countries' struggles at the World Cup and why they keep why we had early exit and all that. Yes, that was the topic I did yesterday night, and you guys know that it's not news that just one African country that is left now in the World Cup. Just one African country. So for me personally, I feel like it's a testament that there's a lot that needs to be done to the football to the continent, like to the African countries in terms of in football rather. It's a lot that needs to be done because at this point with the way things are going, I think that this World Cup, there's a lot of corruption that has marred this World Cup. Even coming from France, Argentina, and some other countries that some persons are saying, "Oh, FIFA is actually supporting them, or FIFA is pushing them to win." We've heard stories like that. But at the same time, I think the African countries, they should take responsibility for their actions or for their losses, because make it make sense. Why is there this pattern of, when you're winning at the end of the day, before 80th minute, or let's say 70 minutes, you're already fumbling? This is not the first country that is happening to. Yeah, Egypt yesterday were not the only countries that had these issues. I mentioned it in my other live stream. Senegal had the same problem, and some other African countries too had the same problem. So it's not really the fact that, oh, they are not, African countries are not being supported or whatever. It's like a course, 80th minute course on the African countries. Okay, so now this particular topic is all about the match between France and Morocco taking place. Is it tomorrow? So I don't know if it's today or tomorrow. I think it's taking place very soon. And for me personally, there are some issues or some side talks that we've heard with regards to this World Cup, that FIFA is actually supporting, pushing Argentina and France, to go very far because of ticketing and all those all those shenanigans. But now let's focus on this match, because Morocco is the only African country that that is left now. They are the only African countries that can give us what we want at the end of the day. They are the only African countries that can move into the semi-finals if they win France. But my dear, it's not going to be an easy match. Number one. Number two, forget about if FIFA, I know that France is a very strong team, and with the kind of support that they have, they are the favorites to win over Morocco. But Morocco at this point, they are the strongest African team, and they have proved that this course, or this 80 minutes course, I don't know if it's going to affect them, but at the same time, I feel like they are the only African country that have gotten far, in the recent times. I remember in the last World Cup, Morocco got to the semi-finals, and they got the fourth runner position. Yeah, fourth, if I'm not mistaken. So they have been the only African country that have gone further, that have moved, ahead of the other countries from the African continent. So I'm tipping them to give France a very very tough match, but it's going to be very very interesting, and I'm praying, I'm hoping that the Morocco move past France, but it's not going to be an easy match. It's not going to be an easy match. But at the same time, with the whole corruption that's going on in the FIFA, for me personally, I feel like Argentina has been, favored in recent times. In fact, I saw in a blogger's post, that Argentina is currently under um, investigation for some financial laundering, money laundering problems, and all that. A lot of persons has now, beaming their searchlight on Argentina, saying that, oh, that there are some issues when it comes to financial money laundering and all that, that they are suspecting that probably Argentina must have, lobbied FIFA and all that. Anyway, we can't prove that, but at the same time, all these are just speculations. Just speculations. We've not really come out with the truth about what has been going on. But for sure, I would say FIFA is currently supporting Argentina and France to win the World Cup. Allegedly, allegedly. Okay, don't come for me. But I have this feeling that FIFA is, they're supporting Argentina and France to win the World Cup. Either of them, because of course they have fans, and you know, with what is going on, um, this World Cup, of course, they're there to make money, and they're looking for the team or the country that has a lot of fans that can buy the tickets, and that can move, that can go very far in this World Cup. Okay, so they will want to support a country that that has a lot of fans, that have a lot of that have money, because money is very important when it comes to all this kind of sports. So they want to push countries that can't buy tickets and all that to go very far in the competition. But at the same time, I would say that FIFA should tread carefully, because all these issues, actually usually comes back to financial misappropriation of funds, so many other things that that can work against them at the end of the day. Because after the World Cup, they will now be the they will now be investigated by the other higher authorities, because with the money they've made so far from this World Cup, USA being the host country is going to they're going to they're going to be part of it. They're going to It's going to favor the US, of course, Canada and Mexico. They are the three host nations. Okay, so they're going to partake from the whole thing. So everybody wants to make more money. They want to make more money. They want to make sure that the World Cup is a success. But at the same time, it should not be at the detriment of the deserving teams that deserve to go further in the competition. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this Morocco and France match. I feel like it's going to be a very, very, very interesting match. I'm supporting Morocco, of course, but what I would say is I hope that the 80-minute course will not affect Morocco. That is just my own um take on the match. Definitely, I'm going to come back to give you guys my own opinion after the match. But I'm praying and hoping that this 80th minute course does not work on Morocco, because we saw what happened yesterday with Egypt. You saw what happened with Senegal and some other teams like Cape Verde, that did very well. But let's just see what Morocco can do. Let's see if Morocco can move past France into the semi-finals. Okay, so I will keep you guys updated, after the match. Let's see what happens. But at the same time, there's a lot going on with FIFA. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of match fixing, and all this stuff. A lot of persons have come out to say, "Oh, FIFA is supporting Argentina. FIFA, wants Argentina to move further because of ticketing and all that." But how will you, as a team, be 2 minutes, 2 goals ahead, and now end up conceding 3 goals within the space of 20 minutes? It does not really make sense. I feel like they should own up to their own mistakes, and don't blame FIFA for their wrongs. But at the same time, if FIFA is being summoned, or is being um, blamed for Argentina's victories, I think it should be with the referee and the VAR as assistants, and the other coaching. Is it no, not coaching, the match officials, because that is where FIFA comes in. That is how they control the game. They can't control the game. They don't control the players. Okay, so the only way they can control the game is through the referee and the assistants and the VAR, the officials of VAR. That's the only way FIFA can control the officiating. Okay, so you saying that FIFA is the one that made you lose at the end of the day, when you know that your defense is very poor, when you know that you did not defend very well, you did not attack the way you're supposed to attack. There's no need blaming FIFA now. That's just it. It doesn't really make sense. The only way you can blame FIFA is when the officiating was really, really poor, and the officials did not do their job. The VAR officials did not do their job. That's the only way I think that FIFA can be called in. But you losing a match when you're 2 goals up, it doesn't really make sense. FIFA is not there to play the football for you. So I think the African countries, they need to own up to their own mistakes, because to me, it's their fault. You can't say, oh, you blame FIFA for your loss. It's not possible because FIFA was not there when you were. They did not control. They don't control players. Okay, that's just my own take. So at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to this France and Argentina. Oh, sorry, France and Morocco. Let's see who's going to win at the end of the day. But I wish Morocco all the best of luck, and I will come back to give you guys my own opinion. You know, if um, Morocco can break through and um, get to the semifinals, that's my prayer. I just hope they can, and they won't be affected by this 80 minutes course that has been affecting the other African countries because, my dear, is a pattern, and we already know that is a pattern. There's no way you can tell me that that is not a pattern. It shows the kind of mentality that we have here in Africa when it comes to football. They have not really grown past that mentality that they can actually win a bigger team. So if they don't outgrow that mentality, they will continue to lose. And I think African football, it's a pity that African football is still at the level that it is because of the mentality of the players. So I think when it comes to coaching, they need to also speak into the mentality of these players and make them realize that they can do it. There are no big teams out there. It's your mentality that makes you feel, oh, this team is too big for us to go past and all that. But at the beginning, they start well and they don't end well. That's the problem. I think they need to make sure that they continue with that mentality of winning throughout the game. That is just what they need to do. I just hope Morocco will be able to pass. They will be able to that they should be able to overcome that and defeat France. But my dear, it's going to be very, very difficult. Going to be very, very difficult. I wish them the best of luck. I wish Morocco the best of luck. But at the same time, I'm still skeptical about them defeating France. I'm still skeptical, but let's see how it goes. All right, guys, this is the end of the live stream. I didn't want to talk too much. I just wanted to come here and air my opinion. If you have a contrary opinion, comment down below, and I'll see you all in another live stream. Good day, everyone, and have a nice day.